Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
And I was doing it for about 5 minutes and I couldn't get this bass drum pedal on. I couldn't get it on.
Welcome to Drum and Drummer.
Yeah, boy.
Did that shock you? I started it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah?
Go for it.
Yeah. How are you?
All right. Yeah. Busy.
Yeah?
Yeah, busy. A lot of studio projects on at the moment.
Nice.
So just kind of got to keep on top of it all because there's a lot to manage and the gigs are back. And
they certainly are.
You know, did a gig on Saturday. It was fine. It was all good. Apart from it rained a lot and we nearly got stuck in the field. Because there were some other vehicles that could not get out.
Oh, what? Muddy situations.
Yeah, muddy, up a hill. And there was already a minibus with guests in stuck at one of the exits. And then a taxi trying and failing to get over the edge of this muddy lip onto the road. But Sally Civic, she pulled through.
Wow.
And,
I'm glad. Glad your car's okay.
But I was thinking at the time, I was like, I can't have another car issue. I can't be stuck in this field. I won't get home till 2:30 at the earliest, and I'm in the studio all day the next day. Please let me get out of this fucking field. But you had a smooth journey home, didn't you?
I was gonna say you got out, you got home all right. That's all good. My car broke down. We'll save it for next episode where we talk about it properly. But all you need to know is I was driving back from a gig I had on the Isle of Wight, driving back to Brighton. By the way, I had to be in work at 8 a.m. Sunday morning. So I was driving back Sunday morning at 1 a.m. or whatever. 2 a.m. And car just died on the road and I had to be towed back to Brighton. And I got in at 5 a.m. and then still went to work. So don't quite know how I did that. 2 hours sleep. But, you know. You
did it because you had to.
I did it because I had to. And, but we'll save that for next week because that was quite a night.
Well, let's motor on.
Good. Really good.
To our chat, which didn't break down.
Oh, fuck.
No, I ruined it there.
No. I wasn't saying, oh, fuck. I was saying, oh, fuck, because I couldn't think of a pun. I was really trying. And while I was trying, you got another one.
Yeah. Well, you know. This week, who are we chatting to? Georgie boy.
We're chatting to Jack Geary. Who is Jack Geary, you ask? He is a drummer, obviously. I mean, it's rare that we don't have drummers on, although it's happened. He plays for Maisie Peters, and who is let's say, female pop singer. She's
She's on the up.
She's on the up, very much on the up. I mean, even just this year, the fact that they're playing Hammersmith, the day this comes out, Hammersmith Apollo. Yeah. And then later on in the year, they're playing Wembley Arena. So that's quite a good trajectory.
And coming off the back of tour support for that insane Ed Sheeran tour.
Exactly.
All around the bloody world.
Exactly. So, and we also talked about his kit. I mean, you know, why do we need to explain?
We covered it all. You know, what's it like playing stadiums? The effects of chorizo on the human body.
He went straight in with that. Yeah.
What it is to, I don't know, tromboning and one of the biggest McDonald's orders I've ever heard of.
Yeah. That's something. Do you know what? As you were explaining all that, I was thinking, why do we explain what you're about to hear? But that's a good teaser because...
we want to keep people listening.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's a great lad. We had a good laugh, a good time chatting about his life and career. So enjoy. Hello, mate. You all right?
All good, man. All good, yeah.
Rocking the Steve from Stranger Things look.
I mean, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. I would if I could.
Mate, you look awesome.
Oh, thank you.
You got the tats as well.
I do, yeah.
He does have tats.
Mate, wait, I'll show you. Hang on. I'll show you mine. Mine are terrible. I've got a little pool ball here.
What's the story behind that?
Well, we just like to play pool, basically. So I was like, I'm just gonna was just gonna get a pool ball, and I get absolutely rinsed for it. I get told it looks like a club stamp, and then I got a ramen bowl there because I like ramen.
Yeah, get things you like. I mean,
there's
so
nothing wrong with that. To yours, but yeah, there we go. That's it. That's all I have.
That's fair enough.
Okay. I'm gonna get more.
I've just got a fish. That's all I got.
Mate, I love that. What was the reason for yours?
Well, I learnt to swim last year, and I'd never learnt how to swim, so I got a fish.
Right.
Ben's got a whole sleeve of Marvel, is it?
No, you couldn't be more wrong. Well, you're close. It's Batman and Jurassic Park.
Nice.
Ben, show it off. We're all showing our tats.
Jurassic Park gates.
Amazing.
Loads of dinosaurs.
Mate, that's so sick. That must have taken ages for that. Oh my god.
Man,
that is so cool. Mate, I love it. So I take you like Batman. That's obviously
no.
Yeah, actually hate him.
Yeah, I actually think he's a pest. He's a menace. I do not agree with vigilantism. You should leave it to the police.
So funny.
Right. Well, thanks for coming on, Jack. First of all, because this is the longest we've spent in trying to get someone on, I'd say.
Mate,
I take full blame because I think I saw that you went on tour to New Zealand, Australia, and I went, I'll ask him now if he wants to be on the pod.
It was, the timing was funny, and on that day, like I basically had the runs.
Oh really?
Yeah, no, it's really bad, and like I was so ill, and genuinely, like it was got to the point where I couldn't even go in and like rehearse. I had to like stay in bed and just kind of get myself together. I had like a chorizo sausage the day before, and it kind of sent me the wrong way, so I vouched to never have a chorizo sausage ever again.
Wow.
It was a interesting time, that and obviously jet lag and not really being able to. It was so bad. There was like a cyclone going on, like storms and stuff, and like
the flooding, right?
Yeah, so it was just that whole sort of 2 weeks was just like absolute carnage.
My God.
But yeah,
so you got to Australia first, and then was that right?
Well, we were going to go to Sydney to sort of do like a transfer, but we started in New Zealand, basically Auckland, which is quite far away.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was cool. It was cool. We got it done.
Well, not to I mean, hone in on you having the runs, but I just wanted to like.
Is that on the thing? That can't be on the.
That was one of the questions. I was like, ask Jack if he's had the runs on tour. No, like, how close was that to playing a stadium show?
Literally.
Was it worrying?
3-4 days. Yeah, 3-4 days, and then we were straight in the thick of it because we were meant to have like rehearsals before it, just to get everything down, and we were already quite like drilled in. It was more just kind of just to refresh, and there was a few new tunes or whatever, and I was like renting a kit out there. Well, I was renting sort of the cymbals and the hardware, and you know when you just want to like check it all out and make sure it's not gonna, I don't know, full like break. And we only had like, I couldn't even go in and do that, so we were kind of straight in gigging. So it was nerve-wracking though, but it super cool. Like, I saw you have Mark on. What an absolute legend!
Well, let's quickly explain. You play for Maisie Peters, who is currently still touring with Ed Sheeran.
Yeah,
and Mark Pusey is obviously Ed Sheeran drummer. But he's a great lad, Mark. He was. Yeah,
he's so good. He's amazing. His kit as well is just like unreal. Like the DW, they've got it like perfect. Danny's drum tech as well is. Yeah, they're super clued up because obviously I feel like the rooms that you're playing in aren't like conventional for music really. So just to see how they go about it, and like it was really cool because I was able to be like, for instance, I wasn't getting like a lot of definition like out of my kick drum, and it was quite annoying. It was just like really like woofy, and like a little bit. Mark was just like, "Have you ever tried a wooden beater?" And I know it might seem quite obvious, but I hadn't. I was just like, yeah, let's give that a go. And then I tried the wooden beater, and I was like. It was like light and day. I was like, okay, this is cool. It's just like little tips and stuff.
Were you using a felt beater before or plastic?
I was using a felt beater, yeah. And like, I'd always done that. I'd always just used the stock ones. Like, I'm not like, I had like it was an Iron Cobra, which I love. Yeah, it's just a stock one. And I hadn't really thought about changing it. And then he was like, yeah, just put a wooden beater on. And I was like, oh, great. Yeah, wow. Absolutely saved the show.
That's brilliant. Is there any, because that was going to be one of my questions, because it looked like, am I right in saying whilst you were supporting Ed Sheeran, you were also doing Maisie Peters shows, like her own shows at the same time?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Is it, what are some of the differences between playing, you know, the biggest stadiums and playing smaller rooms that you found? Because that's quite a jump, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like going on like being a support band, that takes like a whole other, you know, mindset. I think being like really quick setting up, like less on the playing side of things. It was so, right, you're in at 12, you have to make sure your kit is set up by 12:10, you know, things like that. Make sure it's all like reheaded, make sure it's sounding nice. And you're, you know, the team on the Ed run, it is ridiculous. There's like 50 plus people around the stage, and you really just don't want to like get in the way of anyone. So that was like a really, I don't know, like just really interesting to kind of have to work around people in that sense. Like just because, you know, the drums aren't that important in that show. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're just like, right, stay in your corner, get set up and be quiet. And then obviously in a lovely way.
Yeah.
Right. And then you go up and then you can set up. And it was just, the timing for me was just like, it was crazy. But then I guess, and then going to like a Maisie Peters headline, well, it's a headline. So you have way more time to kind of get things sounding cool. And I think I personally prefer playing in normal sort of gig venues, little, you know, sweaty 250 cap gigs, or, you know, theatre shows. I think like playing stadiums is awesome, but like you'd like hit the snare, right, and then it'd go on for like ever. Like the natural reverb, you know, like Logic, you get like the reverb chambers.
Yeah.
Like it's literally that, but obviously real. Like it was mental. I remember monitors were having a nightmare with it because we're having to just sort of condense the snare, so it was just like more just reverby, but not that reverb, if that makes sense.
Yeah, is that something that throws you off a bit if you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And like just different. Like we had like two different sort of mixes. Like we would have to like click would be way more up on the stadium shows because it can just sound very washy, and a lot of like subs as well, so you can actually feel something. So that's why I have like my Porter and Davies, because like I feel like if you're in them types of rooms, if you can't feel the kit, it's just going to make it way like harder. And like, you know, you're just laying it down. It's pop. You know, you just got to make sure everyone else can do their thing. You know, as drummers, let everyone else do their thing, and then we can just lay it down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that was kind of the difference. I don't know if I explained it, but
no, that was
yeah,
perfect.
it's just getting used to like different situations. I think that's the one. When you're on like a big scale touring production, as opposed to then doing a Maisie Peters headline. It's just we've got 5 crew and then 4 band, including tour manager. So it was just getting used to like, you know, get like different personalities, making sure you don't get in the way of that person, or be really buddy with the stage manager, because they're the ones who are going to like, you know, help you out and stuff. So yeah, just not annoying anyone really. I think that's the main thing, just being nice.
Yeah.
Which sounds so obvious.
No, but it's what every drummer has said being on this pod. That is the number one rule, you know. Be nice.
Yeah.
I think it's knowing where you sit in the pecking order, isn't it? Like depending on what show you're doing. And if you are opening the show, you can't make too many demands, and you've got to keep out of the way and just do your thing. And when you're, you know, top of the bill, you have that more time, you have that ability to get things more how you want it, but still don't be a dick, I think is the key, isn't it, really? But
absolutely. Yeah, exactly. And like again, like sort of when we would be setting up, they'd be like doing all the sound for Ed, and it was just like making sure that you don't like hit, you're not just going to start, you know, tuning or playing some grooves as much as like, man, playing like In the Air Tonight or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Playing some like absolute tunes to sound check the drums, but you just get told off really. And you know, just etiquette really, as you were saying, just with like not annoying anyone and stuff. So yeah.
What was your sort of schedule then on a stadium show? When were you guys loading in? When was your sort of sound check, and what was your sort of stage time?
So we'd be in early in the morning. Be around 9 o'clock from wherever we were staying, depending on, sometimes you're staying like really far out. And obviously these like stadiums, they're kind of like, they're not necessarily in like the center of like a city. Do you know what I mean? They'll be quite far out. So you might have, you might be commuting half an hour, sometimes an hour. So depending on that, and then kind of get in, suss out the dressing room. That was like the hardest part, because these places are massive. Like, mate, it literally, sometimes you spend like 20 minutes. And 20 minutes doesn't seem that long, but when you're trying to just put your bags down and then get to your kit, that's actually quite a while. So the amount of times I got lost as well. And you're just kind of like, oh, sorry, like, do you know where the dressing room is? To be like, they're just like, mate, follow the signs. But like, yeah, we that was, yeah. So you kind of get to the dressing room, and then that's what I mean. So we'd have like a quite a serious schedule. We'd have to get to the stage for say like 11 or whatever, and then set up, and that's like you'd have 10-15 minutes to set up, and then you're kind of on the stage whilst everything else is going on, and then you'd kind of have to wait for a while, and then I'd sussed out that if I'd set up my kit, got it on the stage, I could then go and get food, which was the main thing. So I'd quickly go and rush, get like
a chorizo sausage or something.
A chorizo sausage, yeah, exactly. Yeah, a few of them.
Yeah.
Settle the nerves.
Yeah, settle the nerves. Do that, and then come back to the kit after the chorizo sausage. Have the runs, obviously, so be running back and forth 20 minutes, and then play some music, and then it was so quick. Like, I think if you couldn't be fussy, it was just like, right, get on, play, we'll work it out type thing. And I remember we had some RF issues on the first show, so we were like playing, but everything was cutting out. So you got like a metronome, right? And it was just every like other beat it was going, and that was just simply, crazy. So things like that.
What stadium was that at?
Don't search for any videos. I think it was the first one, so it was Auckland. It was Auckland.
Oh, really?
And it was an interesting one.
That's just your worst nightmare. Click cutting out anywhere, even a rehearsal. It's like, oh, that's stressful, but
right.
And stadium show in New Zealand.
Oh, it's one of them where you're kind of like, oh my god, what's going to happen here? But we got through it, luckily. But that's what I mean about it just being so quick. So sometimes things like that you can't tackle as much on them shows, because you just got to be in and out, getting it done. But luckily we solved it, and then the next show it was okay. So
what happens with sound techs? Do you have your own people with you, or are you using the same as Ed, or do you use in-house?
No, so Maisie's got her own team, so own front of house, monitors, guitar tech, who also does keys. She'll have her own people with her, and they're super. They've been doing it for 30 plus years. They're so clued up on everything. She has her own team. But Ed's lot have been so like accommodating. They've always said like, if you need someone to do this or someone to do this, then they're so on it with everything. And then it's just me. Drums, drum world. Yeah.
So no drum tech for you.
No drum tech. No drum tech. Just the way I like it.
Yeah. Would you be open to a drum tech in the future?
I'm not going to say no, just so I can have more chorizo sausages. And then, but like, I don't know if you guys are the same, but like, I know like what I like and how I like the kit to sound and stuff. So, I think it's super cool. Everyone has their own sort of methods and stuff on that. But yeah, I'm so used to just kind of like, right, set up, play, pack down. So it's just ingrained at the moment. So.
Yeah, Ben's like that more than anyone I've ever met. It just,
really?
Yeah, OCD. But it's, it's what Ben Thomas said, it's control what you can control, and if you can set it up the same way. But I'm amazed at Ben's ability to, every bit of his kit is the same every time. I'm like, how did you do that? That seems the same. But yeah,
Fish, I can get that kit up and down so quick, and everything's like minimized. So what I'm packing down, I'm not shortening something I don't need to, so that it's going to be exactly the same height next time, which is why I don't like people helping pack my kit away or set it up, because you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do it. Like, we had one where to keep it quick, we have like the mic clips just kept on the stand, And like I remember I got back to pack it down and they'd taken off all the mic clips, and it was just like, no, don't do it, no. So annoying. And I think as well, just like doing like loads of functions as well. You know, you're so used to just like packing down like gear all the time, navigating through the drunken crowd. You know that one where you're just like, stay away, like don't get on my kit, don't, stay away.
Well, before we go on to other stuff, I've got one more question to do with stadium shows and stuff, because sometimes when you find out you're doing a gig for someone or something, you go, oh, I'm playing this place, I wonder what that place is. I just wanted to know, like, at what point did you find out that you were going to be doing 5 nights at Wembley, and were you freaking out in a way?
Yeah, obviously freaking out. Yeah, I mean it's crazy to be able to do that. I remember we didn't find out for a while that we were supporting Ed, but I remember being told that, and it was kind of like one of them moments where you then like look at the poster, because you had seen it sort of flying around London and seeing all the dates. You're like, oh, that would be cool, and it was kept really, really quiet. And then when I found out that, I mean, that was like awesome. Kind of one of them moments where you're like, oh my god, that's like scary as well. But yeah, like again, there is a thing, like a gig is a gig as well. You know, it'd just be the same thing. You know, make sure you play as well as you can, and obviously setting up, packing down and stuff. But like, yeah, that was like a real fun moment. It felt very special as well. Like Ed had some really cool guests on, and I remember that day everyone was like really pumped, because we've been in the tour for quite a while, so you can get a little bit tired. But I remember there was like a buzz around the whole thing, and obviously for Ed to do that as well. I mean, I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think anyone's done that amount. Maybe
no,
they have. I don't think that. I think he did
5 nights at Wembley. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I did 4.
No, it was... Come on now.
No.
What? Just solo on
just drums.
Kit, yeah. Just
drums.
Me. It was a masterclass.
It was a masterclass on packing up and setting down. You know. Yeah.
Can you imagine? I'd pay to go and see that. Absolutely. Like, I'm there. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's see how many tickets we can sell. Yeah.
Let's do everything apart from actually play drums. It'll be all the other
just
stuff.
Pat down, set up, in the other way, set up, pat down, not pat down, set up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The speed test, how fast you can do it.
Yeah, we should actually do that. That would actually be a really cool thing.
That would be a good game, actually. That could be a good.
How long does it take to set up a kit?
Because we are trying to think of new games for the podcasts, you know. So far,
and also maybe one day it'd be good to do a live show.
Yeah.
Oh God! Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We have been discussing it. Definitely.
We'll get you up, Jack, and you can.
Can I do the setup thing? Can I do that?
Yeah. Oh my God, we'd be honored. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I really like that story about mic clips. So that was because it's like, you know, you see your Instagram and it's like stadium show, and then behind the scenes it's like someone's taking my mic.
Oh man,
off. Like,
yeah, literally.
They do it because they think they're being helpful. That's the thing, and you're like,
yes,
your helpfulness is hindering.
Yeah,
it's essentially ruining my life. Yeah.
There you go.
Full on cry in the corner. No, do you know what it is that though? It's like you just want to be like, look, I really appreciate you helping and stuff, but like just that. And then I remember front house were like, oh no, because then it meant on the next day we then had to do it all again. And obviously the whole timing thing, you don't have a lot of time to set up. It's like, right, let's muck in, let's get this done. So thanks, mate, whoever that is, if they're watching.
I love it. You mentioned functions briefly. I just want to ask, outside of the world of Maisie Peters, what other things have you got going on drum wise?
So I do a lot of functions. I'm sort of balancing like a few bands around. So that's what I do loads of I don't want to bring it up, but pre-pandemic whilst at uni, and then after I'd be doing that sort of Thursday to Sunday through and through, really, which is super cool. I think you can learn a lot from them gigs, and when it's a good hang as well, when everyone's like really nice and like you got like a good set going on. I think it's great because I just I just want to play. I just love playing, and so they're super cool bands to play. We kind of go like everywhere. They've got like the classic sort of vans or whatever. Chuck it all in and go, really. Yeah. So yeah. I started with I did like Listen Out Events and entertainment. They're based sort of up north or whatever. That's when I first sort of started doing sort of functions, and then I got into more sort of bands that I don't know, like sort of jobbing bands that would go out by themselves and stuff. And yeah, I've always been doing it. It has been harder to sort of balance. I'm trying to keep myself sort of in the mix of it with on that, because obviously, you know, like you tour and stuff, but then when you come back, you're like, oh, you need to keep working and stuff. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
How long on average do you have between tours with Maisie at the moment?
At the moment, well, Maisie's super busy at the moment, which is super, super cool. I think we kind of got back from sort of Asia the other month, and then we had like a week, and then we were in rehearsals, and then we've just done this like UK run. So at the moment, it's super busy. But we've got a bit of time in May. So I've got a few weekends ready, which will be fun. So nice. Yeah, no, it's busy at the moment, which is great.
Well, I was going to say, because we arranged to do this podcast yesterday, and then I was looking at Maisie Peters' gigs. And am I right in saying you did Norwich on the Friday, Oxford Saturday, Cardiff Sunday, and then we were like, let's do Drum and Drummer Monday.
I know. Yeah.
I was looking at the tour. I was like, you're going to be, and then you're doing Hammersmith Apollo this Thursday, right?
Yeah, Hammersmith on Thursday. Yeah.
Have you played there before?
No, I haven't. No. It was going to be Brixton, but obviously there's that thing going on, isn't there, at the moment with it all. So that, you know, I saw Cornet play Brixton when I was like 14. I was really excited for that, but obviously Hammersmith Apollo will be incredible, and like, again, fair play to Maisie for that. I mean, it's such an achievement. So
not just that, but Wembley Arena in November.
Right. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. I think because we haven't done like the UK in a while. We only did something in like 2021 when our first album, You Sign Up For This, came out, and it was kind of sort of promo tour. Like we did like the Gorilla Institute one, and like a few sort of like rough tradey sort of venues. And yeah, it's just really, really fun to tour the UK, because I haven't toured the UK a lot really. So it's been really nice to kind of go out and see, Norwich and Sheffield.
Exactly.
So
how did the Maisie Peters gig come about? Because am I right in saying it started for you in like the summer of 2021? Is that
2021.
So
exactly.
How did the gig come about then?
Yeah, so my family are musical as well, and my dad would play with a drummer called Bob Knight, who's an amazing drummer, absolute legend. And he's kind of like, from when I was like sort of 11, he's always been like a bit of a mentor for me. And we would like, I don't know, like he would like let me come and sit behind his kit when he would like play. And I remember I was getting more serious about it. So he was like, oh, check out these drummers, or come around and we'll have a little chat about like gear and stuff. And then he actually like gave me my first kit. So it was like a real mentor for me, which I'm like so grateful for. And then, as I was getting older, I sort of was in uni, and he was almost like, oh, there's like this audition going here, or there's this audition going here. And he was like, go to this Maisie Peters audition. And that kind of went on like that, really. So I've got a lot to owe to Bob, really. He's an absolute legend, and he's always like looked out for me. And I think drummers should always, you know, I don't know, like if you can find like a mentor or like a tutor that can sort of, if you want to like do sort of session stuff, I think it's the best thing to do, because you can kind of get that like one-on-one thing. Like I think uni's great. If you get like a one-on-one situation going of a drummer you really respect, then that's super cool. So that's how that came about.
Fair.
What was what was the audition process?
The audition process. So we had to learn two songs off her first EP. And it was when she first started, she was quite like songwritery, acoustic. I'd go Americana, but not like, like country sort of. It was way more on that sort of side of things. So sort of getting like the BVs down. The kit setup was very small. It was just like a bass drum, snare, hi-hat. And then we did it. And then they didn't go for a drummer in the end. They went for a guitar player. So then it kind of came about a couple of years later, and it was just doing a little bit of promo for Maze. It was like for John Hughes movie, and a song called Elvis, and then we did that, and then there's a few more bits and bobs coming in with it, and then they were like, "Oh, do you want to like do it more full time?" I was like, "Yeah, obviously, definitely." So
just a bit.
Yeah, just a bit, and it was kind of off the bat of COVID as well. So
yeah,
it was just like I just want to get out and play, and obviously I'd already met Maisie and the guys, so it was super cool.
So when was the original audition?
The original audition was in 2019.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so quite a while ago.
Yeah.
And I was doing a bunch of auditions, and I was just literally failing at every single one. Like, oh man, like just I hate auditions. I don't know about you guys. Oh, absolutely. I really crumble. Really, actually.
I've never like auditioned for an artist.
Like,
okay. No, I tell a lie. I auditioned for a band like years ago. One I didn't get in, one I did get in. So we've spoken a little bit before about if you're drumming for a more of a solo artist rather than being like a member of a band, you're kind of quite reliant on their career.
Yeah, absolutely.
That helps you.
Yeah.
And sometimes I imagine you might have a couple of things on the go. And at some point you maybe have to commit to one, but you're taking a gamble on someone else pushing their own career and maybe having their own support network and luck and timing and all that sort of thing. Did you have anything else at the same time as Maisie that maybe you were was another option for you? Or was the Maisie thing, when you got it, you were like, this is, you had a feeling that it was gonna work out?
Yeah, I mean, well, I obviously pre to audition, I'd listen to Maisie anyway. Like, I'm really into that sort of singer-songwriter music, so I guess that was already a perk. So to work for someone who you're already into, I think is a big one, and I think that shows as well when you're playing. Like, if you're really passionate about the music, then I think you're only gonna sound better and do like a better job, and want to do a better job as well. I think that's a really important one. But in terms of doing music, I was doing sort of one-off gigs in and out of London with a few bits and pieces, like you were saying, kind of like juggling it, seeing what's going to happen and stuff. And then I was also doing like loads of functions and teaching as well, so doing music and stuff. So I think that when the Maisie thing came up, because I'd already done the audition and I was like, I really enjoy the music and the people around it as well, I was like, I definitely wanted to get on that.
Was there anything different to that audition? And I mean, you sort of said that you've had some auditions that weren't as good.
Yeah.
Feel like, I mean,
why weren't they as good?
Well, I'd absolutely say literally open book. Yeah.
Go on then. Okay, what was the worst one and why?
The worst, there was one that I did, and it was just after COVID, and I go in and I'd learned a couple of tunes, and sort of what was set up was like a bass drum, high tom, floor tom sort of setup, and I didn't realise that you were meant to bring your pedal as well, and I saw on the email it said pedal, so I obviously didn't bring a pedal, so had to can you imagine going in and you're like trying to be all, how's it going, cool, like I was just trying to play it cool, really not playing it cool. I'm not cool. And there's these like bass drum, I see a little bass drum pedal in the corner, it's like a Mapex thing, so I'm like, right, okay, I'll walk over there, sort of I grab it, and I can't get it on the bass drum. Like lesson one for a student of any sort is, set up your kit. Right, this is how you put a bass drum pedal on. Get it on, turn it on. And I literally, I was doing it for about 5 minutes, and I couldn't get this bass drum pedal on. I couldn't get it on. And when you're like, sort of creating conversation or whatever,
yeah.
And I'm just there.
Do you know
that is it? Do you know what I mean? And you're there like, oh my god, this is really, really bad. And it gets to a point where I just have to say, look, can one of you help me please to put the pedal on? And when you've asked that question, you're immediately like, there's no way. There's no way. I can't even get a pedal on. So I have to get help to put that on. So it eventually goes on. And then the actual audition was all right. But then it was kind of like they were auditioning bands. So it was almost like drummer, guitarist, bassist, vocalist. But then the bassist and the vocalist didn't show up. So it was just me and this guitarist playing along to this backing track. So it was just so random. So yeah, that was a bit of a horror story. But I feel like other like musicians who come on here, and obviously yourselves, like there's things that are going to happen, isn't there? Like it's just being a musician. Like no one's perfect.
No.
I'm trying to like sound normal now and be like, yeah, that's a normal thing to not be able to put your bass drum pedal on your kick drum, but like, do you know what I mean? Things.
Yeah.
And that's the pressure thing, isn't it? And
did that help you get more confidence for Maisie?
Yeah, absolutely. We've secured the bass drum now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. It's become a bit easier. But yeah, I think as well with auditioning, I think it's cool. But like, you know, there's so much that goes into touring as well. Is like it's not just about playing the music. And I think sometimes if you're given like 15 minutes, it can be quite hard to like show like who you are. And I think if you've got that down, then that's amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like if you can just like go and own it, then awesome. But like, yeah, I think there's just a lot that goes into touring, and it's just not about the playing. It can be like loads of things that maybe takes time to kind of like develop and be like, oh yeah, this person's cool. You know, we've got to know them over like a week. So I almost think it should be like that. Like, okay, let's put someone in on a gig and see how it goes, do a few shows and do it that way.
This is one I heard from Pat Garvey, my drum teacher, and he said he was playing in an orchestra once, big orchestra, he was drumming, and he did a push on a crash that shouldn't have been there, and the conductor stopped the whole orchestra, and then got on the phone to someone, like the head of something, and said, hi, I just want to check, is there a push on the crash of bar 14 on page whatever? And he's like, there isn't. Okay. And then puts the phone down and just stares.
Absolute noob.
Like, that's insane. Like
in front of everyone.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to be there at that point. Yeah.
But I guess that must like that drummer, you say, was it Pat Garvey?
Pat Garvey, yeah.
Yeah, I know that name.
Yeah.
But like that must have just, I don't know, to come out the end of that, like obviously it's funny, but imagine I'd really want to like, I'd just be like, right, I'm done. I'm gonna quit. Like,
yeah, that's me.
Like, I feel like that's things like that will only make you like stronger as well. I know that probably sounds a bit cringe, but like, as in you hear that and you take that in front of that orchestra. I feel like that, like, you know, if you hear that, you're like, right, I'm going to prove this guy wrong. And then obviously he has done. So that would be, I mean, really.
At Royal College, it was orchestras that I did, and people see the film Whiplash and they go, oh, it can't really be like that. And I'm like, it is. Like, and I even growing up in the Hampshire brass bands, we had the conductor of the senior band was this Welsh guy, and you know, we were very high standard for our age. It was like, you know, between 16 and 18, and you would be doing a test piece for the youth band championships, you know, and there'd be like a particular bit, and he would then, and it wasn't working for some reason, and so he'd go down the line individually, and you had to play that bit in front of everyone else, just sat there, and he wouldn't move on until you played it right.
Oh, I hate that.
And I honestly saw it. He was on someone for 15 minutes.
Jesus.
Like there were tears, you know, like it was brutal. It was as if you'd eaten 4 chorizo sausages. You were just you were shitting yourself, knowing he's coming down the line and I'm next, you know, and you were just praying you just got it right that time. And
you need to put in like a little ad after this, be like, so go and study music, kids.
Or one of those mental health ads that I keep hearing.
Literally.
And and at uni, like, you know, if you were late, that's it. Don't expect to be an orchestra again. You know, if you fuck something up, that's it. You're gone. You really had one strike, and that was it. And I saw even people, and this is the worst one for me. Someone didn't get put in like the front row of the violins because of their look.
Wow,
disgusting. Yeah, I think that's in general. That's just horrible, isn't it? Like, if you're obviously really talented, then you know it doesn't matter. I think that's just crazy when it doesn't become about the music anymore, and it's just like you know what they look like. I think,
but they were you know, it was a pretty brutal. The classical world is pretty.
So is that what you did a lot of studying?
That's what I did. I was a trombone player. Yeah,
awesome.
Being a kid, and then went to Royal College and studied it. But I always did drums on the side in bands.
Nice.
And now that's what I do. I do the odd bit of trombone in the studio, but drums.
I love that, going from trombone to drums. That's like
I think I just
so
had
far
like
apart, but cool.
Yeah, I had like learning trombone gave me so much help when I started learning drums because I understood rhythm and notation already, and then the drumming helped rhythmically with sight reading for trombone, and I could bring classical elements and training into the punk ska world that I was in, and then I just had a bit of a broader spectrum maybe of music overall and different types of performing, which I think just made, so now when I like produce records in the studio, I have the band knowledge, but I have a classical degree training on top that helps with harmony and structure and all those sorts of things.
Got it all. So, yeah, the full shebang. No, I love that. That's really, really cool.
Do you play anything else other than drums?
So I do vocals as well. And then I wanted to do guitar. I dabbled with it, but I just could not. I couldn't do it. Don't know if you were the same, George,
really?
But I tried and I failed hard. I did grade 1, and I was like, right, now I'm done. And then the Beatles, Ringo Starr, discovered him, and I love him. I think he's awesome. So I was able to replicate parts from him, and then that's the way I sort of got into drums. But I went off on a tangent there, but do vocals as well. I think you should always have 2 things going on. Whether it's like you can always be good at your main thing, but just have another thing just to be like, I can do this as well.
Well, we've talked about it before, like on the pod, and that I've played bass for some bands. I play bass in one of Ben's function bands.
Oh, sick!
And it really makes you kind of like learn.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but you learn more about how to be a drummer from. Like if Ben's very good at keeping it solid. He doesn't do like, fills for no reason, I found. But like, but when I was playing with someone else,
we lost you, George.
Oh, have I gone? Maybe the Wi-Fi doesn't stretch to the living room. I've just moved flat, Jack, and we're
the wank dungeon.
We're calling it the wank dungeon. No, my mum told me about that. Yeah.
You gotta leave that in, yeah.
My mum listens to this pod sometimes, and she texts me after the last episode.
On again.
No.
I can't remember what I was on about. Oh,
playing the wank
bass.
Dungeon. Playing bass in the wank dungeon.
Playing bass in the wank dungeon.
That's the name of my band.
Yeah. I mean, the first album.
What, function band? Yeah. But you get so many bookings for that. I bet you get some interesting events. Can you imagine?
Oh, what would you get booked for if your name was Wank or just Wank Dungeon?
Just Wank Dungeon. Oh, so many sex parties. It'd be
a lot of gigs on Epstein Island.
Jesus.
Come on, George, move on.
No, I love it.
I can't remember. I play bass sometimes. That's all you need. Yes. To know. No, but it does make you a better drummer, because I played with another band and the drummer would do things that throw me off, because I can play bass like, feel like I can do it just about. Do you know what I mean? If anything throws me off, that's it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But so I've learnt the songs just enough to play the gig. But
no, that's cool though.
But but when a drummer did a fill and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I was like, I remembered that and I was like, well, I'm not gonna do that now when I play drums, because I know it fucked me off. So it's like it might, annoy the bassist I'm playing with. So I think it is good to have like, different.
I think what you said there is that's awesome. I think, and I think then other drummers like that puts you ahead, because then, because we're not hearing it from that perspective. And I always do have that thought, like, what are actually other people thinking while playing? Because if I'm having a great time, then great. But how is it sounding sonically to other people? And I always remember I was having a really good song. I was having a really good song. I was having a really good time on this one song, and I listened back. And the front of the house were like, your hats are a bit too washy on this, too loud. And because I was really getting into it, I was having a great time. They were like, well, no, we need to can you actually hit lighter and stuff. I was like, oh, interesting. So at the time, I'm like, this is sounding amazing. My mix is great. And then you hear it in context, and you're like, oh, okay, I might need to sort that out. So I'm obsessed at the moment with getting like the right sort of what's the word? Like just hitting dynamics on the hi-hat. Yeah, just getting it right to sit, not just because I can be someone's quite a heavy hitter. So yeah.
That's really interesting, because sometimes I'll do that. I'll open the hat up a bit, hats up, just to kind of, if I feel like it isn't full enough. Like, say if you play, sometimes I find if you play like, disco beat, that doesn't pack a punch enough, like to me. So I'm like, I'll open it up and play some, 16th note groove or so, just so it's like, it feels like I'm doing more. But yeah, if instead it is actually coming out front of house fine and the washiness is too much, then yeah, but I know what you mean, because sometimes you're like, is this bringing it enough? Is this giving it enough energy?
The hi-hats are such an element of, for me anyway, the drums, that you can build excitement and you can take it away.
Absolutely.
You've got so much control. And even I find, like playing something like Brown Eyed Girl, you can just in the bridge, just open the hi-hat a fraction,
left foot a bit,
lift it up. It just gives it. You can really control the dynamic of a song and the flow of the song just with lifting that hi-hat up a little bit or bringing it back down.
It's mad that though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so what I think, this goes back to you with the front of house saying about your hi-hats. That's the difference between, that can be a difference between playing selfishly and playing for the band and the song. And you might be doing something that, like, I'm really enjoying this, but it's rocking it on the crash for that last chorus. It's too much. It doesn't work. It's subtracting from the whole show.
Absolutely.
And that's what I think is really important, that drummers and other musicians, you have to be aware of where you are
in the mix
and what else is going on. And I think if you've got another musical skill, playing another instrument or singing or music understanding that is outside of drumming, it gives you an insight into what the rest of the band are doing.
Yeah.
And then you can understand where you fit in. If you know what that riff is, if you know that structure, or how a song dynamically working, or something's going up the octave there, it's going down there, it's dropping out here, can really influence how you play a certain section or how you play a song. And if you've got that from another thing, you have that perspective, like George on bass or yourself singing. I think it can make you a better drummer for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that as well, what you said about like playing selfishly or like playing for the music. I think that's like a massive one. Like almost like thinking as yourself as like a mixing desk, and you've got 8 faders. Like, okay, how heavy am I going to hit the kick drum, snare, hi-hat? And it might come across a bit boring, but I think that's just so cool to get down. Do you know what I mean? Like not rim shotting all the time, getting like a really consistent hit. And obviously with the hi-hat, and then swapping out different cymbals, like, the A custom Zildjian can be quite intrusive to a mix. But then if you hit it on like the 4, 1, 2, 3, that can actually sound really nice. So I'm obsessed with that at the moment, like hitting on like a beat 4 or something, or on like a beat 2 instead of just a 1. So yeah, it's always a work in progress. Like I literally, after every single sound check we do, I'm always talking to front of house just to see, okay, how is this sounding? Like, what can we do here? And it's simple things. It's not like, oh, I'm going to put this linear, 12-stroke roll, double crazy blast beat. Not that. Just it's simple stuff, but it's how can we make it sound just like bang on. Like I've got bass drum mics on my floor toms, and that's a game changer. Like the D12. It's just like, and little things like that, and it just it's just dreamy.
What size floor tom do you have?
I'm on 16 and 18. I love floor toms. I've gone like really rocky, so we've gone like 12, 16, 18.
Well, that's a perfect segue into. Is that your BDC kit?
That is the BDC kit. Cool. Yes.
Let's talk about that, because yeah, we had.
Oh, it's insane! It's so good. It's a legend. Yeah, it's a legend. Yeah, so there's a legend series, and it's the Raven legend for the. I like that. I might need to use that. Yeah. It's Raven glass finish. So when the lights go on it, it changes. It can look. It's like a sparkle, but it can change like color, which is quite cool. So
big fan of that. Yeah.
It's so and I've seen some videos back, and I'm like, this looks like cool. I didn't want something too like what's the word, standy outy, which might sound a bit random, but I didn't. I want it to almost still sort of just look just look cool, but not be too intrusive to the show. What's going on? If
Is that because of who you're playing for? Because Maisie.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, and
exactly.
She like, she's never
the artist in herself. It's like, but as much as you guys are there, was it
100%? Like,
have a pink kit to clash with?
Yeah, exactly. Like Maisie's like so chill, and like she's not said any direction with it at all. Like she's not gone, oh this. None of that, but it's more, just thinking about the show. And like you said, if it was a big pink kit, which actually might be quite cool.
It would be, yeah.
I think that actually might be, I'm kind of there for that, to be fair. But yeah, it looks so cool, and it sounds great because it's a birch kit, so you really get that projection. I find I was on a maple. I'm still on my maple custom as well, but I find it can just be a bit harder to tune, and just going back to everything being really quickly done. I just find the birch, it's just easy, a couple of turns each one, you've got a great sounding drum. And I just find with maple, like no disrespect to the maple lovers out there, but it just can be, I think it's just a different drum, and it can just be a bit harder to perfect. But a little tuning thing I found with it is I've got some cotton wool sat in the drum, which I don't know if you guys have ever done that, but it's insane. It just sits on the bottom head, and it just stops any ringing. So we just got a few bits of cotton wool in it.
Wow.
Are they
and it's
loose, or are they taped down?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
They're loose. Yeah.
Oh.
Loosey goosey. And I've got I don't know what it is. I went to an arts and crafts shop. I was going to literally get the cotton wool, but then I realised, no, that's just really stupid. I've got the cotton wool. Here we go. That'd be so weird, wouldn't it?
Here's one I did earlier.
Yeah. So but little things like that I love, like little tuning sort of methods, because I don't know about you guys, but I'd always get quite a lot of anxiety, like going into a room and like my drum sounding really bad with like people and stuff. I hate it. I want it to just be perfect. So I'm always looking out for like different sort of techniques and stuff. So I found that was a really, really good one. So
last question on that, how did the BDC come about, the kit come about? Did they get in touch with you, or?
No, I got in touch with Team, who's like the A&R there. She was part of Zildjian, and she's always been a Facebook friend. And I messaged her, and I was just like, I love your kits. I'd just love to come and like have a little look. So I went down to the factory and saw what they're about. And honestly, it's because the owner used to make Premier drums. So obviously they were massive in like the 80s and the 90s. So he's just super clued up, and the whole team are great. And that kind of was it really. And I honestly, the kit, like, genuinely it's insane. I played a few at like Graham Russell Drums. I've gone down there a few times and I played them, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, it sounds like any other, because they're quite a small like brand in the grand scheme of things. But I just think, man, some of the kits, I don't know if you guys have played some of them, but like, so good.
But we had the head of product marketing on the show last year, and we've had a lot of BDC players on. So we know, like, sort of how small they are and what they're about, but how many drummers are now using their
it's
stuff.
Like, it's great though, isn't it? It's like, right, let's do this. Like, I see like loads of awesome drummers playing them, like a guy called Connor Hopkins, who's a drummer, plays for artist called Dylan, who was on the Ed support as well, and he's on BDC. Ellie East as well, who plays for some really cool artists. Like, everyone's kind of playing him. Gabby King, because BDC were really promoting her, which I think was so cool. And I saw a lot of her videos, and I was like, this is super cool. And I don't know if you guys have ever done it, but I didn't really know how to like approach a brand. I've never done that before, and I'd always get a little bit like, that's a bit random, isn't it? Me just saying, hey, really want to use your stuff. How do I go about doing it? Type thing. I think, it's just.
I think it helps when you're playing Wembley 5 nights in a row.
Well, yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's true though. I saw Tommy.
I'm playing a barn in Petersfield. Can I have one of your drum kits, please? They're not really gonna bite on that cherry.
I saw Tommy Igo speak about this the other day, and he was saying how, a lot of young drummers are like, how do I get an endorsement? That's all I want, And he was saying, like, you have to have something that they'll want as well. And I think BDC, they were sort of saying they just want to have that BDC badge as iconic as the Zildjian badge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's totally makes sense. And I guess that's why they're getting a lot of young drummers in as well, you know, like yourself and Gabby and other people like that, because they're like,
you're out touring all the time.
This is it. And it's like, if it shows up on Jules Holland or Wembley Stadium, it's like people will see BDC, and it's like,
yeah, and just from visiting it as well and seeing what everyone's about, I think it's just such a super cool company to promote as well. Like I've seen some of like their sort of things that they've got in the pipeline as well, and it's only getting better. So I already want another kit. Do you know what I mean? I want and there's like another one of their lounge series ones that I'm just obsessed with, so I can have like both. It's really bad, and my parents will kill me with my kits. It's you know, it's a bit of an addiction, isn't it? You want that and you get that, and you're like, oh, like I got their aviator snare the other day, which is basically like an acrylite or a 402. It's super, super cool. So I'm just, going to keep buying stuff basically. Be broke on drum gear.
I think the key with BDC is, you know, a lot of drummers we chat to have BDC kits, and the fundamental thing that all the drummers are saying is just how good the kit sounds. And that's why they'll just always keep growing, because the product's good.
Honestly, you know? And like the just from the quality is insane. Like the lugs they've got, I think the palladium lugs, which are insane, and it's just they're so easy to tune. And I remember going into rehearsals like last week, I was a bit nervous because I've always like used my Yamaha, and I obviously knew BDC were great, but you know, like you hear a kit to your ear and you're like, this sounds mega, and then when you have it on mics, it can be a whole like, okay, I need to change everything now. But it was just it was insane, and I knew it would be, but you know, when you're like new gear day, you're like, I just want it, because I've been raving about it to everyone, and everyone's like, oh, just shut up, like it's just a drum kit.
I bought a new Sabian Crash, and I was Zildjian boy all my life, and I bought the Sabian. I tried out so many cymbals, and I was like, this sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And then I did my first studio session with it with my long-term friend and producer, Neil. And I'd said to him in my phone, I was like, mate, I've got this new Crash, man. It sounds so good. And then we set it up in the studio, and I just thought, what if this sounds like the worst cymbal ever? And he was like, yeah, it sounds amazing. I was like,
okay, good. Nice.
Like, thank God. But I know the paranoia you're talking about.
It really is, isn't it? And like, I completely relate. Absolutely, completely relate to that story. That's a good. I'm glad that it was like good for you. I was a bit nervous that it was going to be like, oh no. Like I actually did. To be fair, I did do that. I got like an artisan Sabian thing when I was younger on like student loan. You know, I was like, right, I'm going to get some nice. And I remember getting it, and like, you know, when you're in uni and doing all like your little projects and stuff, just like with your music friends and stuff. And every single person was like, yeah, that ride is way too pingy. Just like it's not working. And I was just like, man, I spent so much money on that ride. It was a joke. And it was something like £400. And I wasn't able to take it back. It was like, no, you buy it and there's no refund. I was like, ugh. So, yeah.
We're going to finish up, Jack, with who's your favourite delivery company?
Favourite delivery company? Wow. Are we going on like a food sense or just like...
However you want to interpret it.
Yeah, however you want.
However I want. I'm just going to go with Deliveroo.
Yeah.
I think Deliveroo is legendary. I've got a really nice Mackey's about 5 minutes away that I can never be bothered to walk to. And
I got to ask, what do you define as a nice Mackey's as opposed to not a nice Mackey's?
Well, the Mackey's was only it was built last year, so it's still a little bit fresh. Not that I ever go in there, but you know, when you see new Mackey's on the street, new staff, fresh faced.
Yeah. They're all optimistic. Yeah.
All optimistic. And I remember like the other week, I got everything, man. I wanted to try the whole menu, so I got like 2 Big Macs and large meals. Got the chicken selects, and then I was like, I could either get 6 chicken nuggets or the 24, 12 or 24. I was like, I'm going to go in for the 24. So I just got the whole thing. I mean, my body did not forgive me for the whole week, but it was insane. And Deliveroo, man, like they give you updates on when you're going to get it. Like, okay, your driver is just, gone to get it. It's being prepared, and then it's here, and then you eat, and it's great.
There you go.
Deliveroo for me.
Deliveroo, nice.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Yeah. Because people always assume we mean like, DPD or every or whatever.
Well, that's why
I think for a time that's what we were.
Yeah.
We were considering, DPD, your UPS,
DHL,
yeah, all those sorts of ones.
He's got a bad story.
They're terrible.
I can feel it.
Well,
okay,
that was.
We love it. We love it. Feed us with a bad delivery story.
Oh my god, ridiculous. So they delivered it to one of the wrong houses, right? And I was like, well, I need this stuff like now.
What do you mean one of the wrong houses? Do you have?
So I'd given them my address.
Oh.
No, like, yeah, things are going really well.
He's a private landlord. Yeah.
God.
2 Big Macs and 20 nuggets.
Yeah.
And multiple houses.
Yeah.
I think he's
this guy's
okay.
got some rent.
Wembley pays well.
Yes.
Man, they just basically delivered it to a wrong house, and I explained to them that they had, because they'd taken a photo of this random house that I had no idea what it was, that it's been delivered. I was like, well, it hasn't. Like, my house is here, and I've obviously listed my correct address, and man, they delivered it like it was like 300 miles away, like up in like Skipton. I was like, wow, you got this wrong. Like, what is going on? And I was having to like phone them. I was having to say, look, this is not where I live. This is somewhere completely else. And then they're like, okay, well, I don't think we'll be able to get the product back. So you're gonna have to get in touch with who you bought it off and explain the situation. I was like, well,
why is this my problem? Yeah,
exactly. So I did it to the company, and they were like, well, you're gonna have to buy it again. I was like, well, I've just bought. No, like, I can't be doing that. So I got in touch with the company again, and then eventually the person who they delivered it to was actually cool, and they brought it back to the office, and then they got it back to me. But I think it took about 6 weeks when it was meant to be. I got like a next day delivery type thing.
Who was that again? Which company?
DHL.
Right.
Yeah, DHL.
Put them
little slugs.
Yeah.
At them in this DHL, the absolute motherfuckers.
Yeah, there you go.
Rubbish then, DHL, innit?
Yeah, DHL, terrible.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you on, Jack, mate.
Thank you so much, guys. It's been great.
Thank you. It's been a great laugh.
Yeah.
Have good fun at Hammersmith Apollo on Thursday.
Yes.
Thank you.
Which will be the day this drops. So
get in. Oh, do a cheeky share.
Yeah.
Excited.
It was a big day. Now it's a bigger day.
Yeah.
I think we know when the real highlight is.
Absolutely.
Let's be fair. Have a good rest of all your shows, and keep us updated what you're doing.
Yeah.
Where can people find you online? Anywhere at all you want people to find you?
Just on Instagram, just Jack _. Oh God, he's messed up, isn't he? Jack _ Geary on Instagram.
Sweet. Thanks very much, mate. We'll catch you soon.
Guys.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Bye.
See you in a bit. Bye. Bye.
There we go.
There we go. That was our interview with Jack. I didn't know if you were going to say there we go or I was, but
it don't matter.
Doesn't matter. We're talking.
Good laugh, huh?
Yeah, bloody good laugh.
Good laugh. And man, does he look like Steve from Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Just. I thought I was on a Zoom call with Steve from Stranger Things. I'll say it again.
Well, we have got that lined up next week, so
I really hope Steve from Stranger. I
can see your confusion.
I've never seen Stranger Things being filmed at the same time as Maisie Peters has been on tour.
Yeah, yes.
So I'm just wondering.
Do you reckon it could get to a point where it becomes like the Chad Smith and Will Ferrell thing, and it starts at this podcast? Because if they both continue, yeah, and then one day someone will go, oh, what's Steve from Stranger Things doing in Maisie Peters? And that.
Well, the Drummer live show, we'll bring both on.
Which we got it in audio evidence that he's going to be a part of that. So this is how we're going to get guests.
Contractually obliged now to attend any form of live show.
Yeah, I think this is our way to get guests for the show that we're planning. We haven't planned anything for yet. Just mention it and they'll go, oh yeah, I'm up for that. And we go, right, okay. Well, it's
that's
November
legally binding.
12th. Yep. And it's
I don't care if you're playing Wembley. You've committed already.
Yeah, that was cool though. Oh, I don't think it was in the show, but he mentioned afterwards that he, after his 5 nights at Wembley, then did a function gig.
Yeah,
which is
down to earth.
What a drop back down to earth. Yeah,
yeah,
that was brilliant. there you go. Go and check him out.
Go and check his Instagram. Go check out Maisie Peters. And they're literally playing Hammersmith Apollo tonight.
Yeah, literally
pretty
tonight,
damn cool.
If you're listening to it.
Yeah.
Do you reckon we'll get a mention when they're
probably
playing?
not at the show?
No,
absolutely not. No.
Well, Jack's got a mic. You know what I mean? Maybe he could just go rogue, be like, everyone,
get your phones out. You've already got them out because that's what everyone does at gigs now. Just go on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you get your pods, and then and also check us out on Instagram, Twitter.
Yep.
Send us an email.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yep.
No pressure. No pressure at all.
No pressure, but we do say it every week.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And give us a little 5-star review, actually. When you're on your little, Apple Podcasts or whatever. If you're enjoying what we're doing, which I know you are. Yeah? Because you're still here. An hour and 15 into this episode or whatever it is. Just a little 5-star, and that just helps us. Helps new people find us.
Is that what it does? I'm not 100% sure what the ratings do for us aside. Does it make us more?
It might come up more as a recommended show to people.
It's true, yeah.
But can't do any harm.
No.
Can't do any harm.
But a 1-star does do harm, so...
Exactly.
None of them, please.
None of them, please. If you're considering anything less than 5, you can fuck off.
I'll tell you what's good about it. You have to listen to the show before you can do a review on Spotify, which is like... Yeah, because I it sounds like I was listening to a rival podcast and wanted to just give them 1 star off the bat, and I absolutely was not trying to do that. But it said, like, before you rate this show, you have to listen to an episode. I was like, that's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it could become like one of those Google reviews you see.
Yeah, you don't want people it to just be spammed,
No, well, have you seen those ones where people will just write 1 star, I've never been to this restaurant? And it's just like, don't put that. Let's ruin their business now. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyway.
Don't ruin this business.
No. It's not a business. We've never made any money.
No, God no. But I do need to attend to my actual business because I got a fuck ton of work to do. Yeah. And the bank holidays are throwing me off. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. And there's gigs coming in at incredibly short notice. Bands are imploding all over the shop. Yeah. It's a fucking nightmare. But have a good week.
You too, mate.
And we'll see you very soon.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.